My name is Ado from Zimbabwe, and I used to have this recurring dream of just I would go into this. I would literally had a desire to go into this dark cave. And at other times it would be like a camp, like we're at a campsite or something, and I would feel very uncomfortable. It was very tangible. It wasn't comfortable. It wasn't great. I could sense that it was dark, and this man would come, literally grab my hands and take me out to a campsite that was light and full of light. And this happened. This dream has happened quite a few times. It's been recurring, and it's been the same. And even when it takes me out, I find myself going back there, and he would again come and take me out. I didn't know why. I did not ask him to take me out, but I just remember him taking me out. And those days, I didn't even know what it meant or who it was. But just as a finishing off of those dreams later in my teenage years, when I realized about this man called Jesus, I literally said, Jesus, I don't want to go back to the dark places. I want to stay in the light. And that was when those dreams kind of came to an end. I grew up in a Christian home. My dad has been a pastor for a long time, and served in the local church. And I remember that growing up in these poor townships, we always, and my dad worked really hard, so it was always like any time that we could advance to a greener pasture per se, we would always do that. So I moved a lot, and just to give you an idea of how a lot we moved, by the time I was in year 7, I had attended 8 schools. And it did not stop there, but that's just a glimpse of how often we moved. And this moving to greener pastures per se led us to a community in South Africa, where my dad had an opportunity. It was a Christian community, and it seemed like my dad had an opportunity as someone who was a pastor who loved serving God, had an opportunity to do that even on a bigger level. So this seemed like green pastures, except it wasn't. It was a very dark place again. It was a place of hurt, a place that had me questioning actually about this Jesus. Like, actually, who is this Jesus? Why do we even follow him? It was a place that separated children from parents. And just to briefly give you a glimpse of something that happened. For example, I did not finish high school because this place advised or told me that a servant of God did not need to go to school, did not need to finish school, because God has called us to be servants of him and do great work for God. For lack of better words, I think in fact this place turned out to be a cult, and so again, it was almost like this continual place of always finding ourselves in a dark place. And again, like always, God did come and rescue me. I ended up at a different community, still in South Africa. Very, very different. Breath of fresh air, and with people who also still served Jesus. But we're so different from this place I was. So my walk with Jesus, or my understanding of Jesus, for me, church was an ancient activity that somehow people did, and Christianity was something that sometimes people used to control people. That was my experience and what I knew. And then when I had moved to this new place, honestly, these people just loved me. And I think I was around 19 when I started realizing that this Jesus, there was an actual man who came as God to save the world, and that's why we are Christians. So yeah, I grew up in church, didn't know about this. And one of the things that this place did to me was they made me feel like I was unique and special. And I cannot tell you what that did to my life. Growing up, again in Zim, I never knew that, someone like me could have dreams, could have passions, could achieve anything. In fact, I was told by two leaders that I actually looked up to, that my life would never amount to anything. That's one I was told that, and I believed it then. So, in a very quick one, I grew up poor. I grew up thinking I could never achieve anything. I got caught up in this dark place. God rescued me. And all this led me to being here right now. And that journey from that point onwards to here has been absolutely amazing. But then we serve a God who's not limited by circumstance. We serve a God who, He's not limited by where we come from, the things that surround us, the limitations that we have, and I cannot boast absolutely in anything else. I have seen His faithfulness. I have seen His goodness. And like I said in the very, very beginning, I've seen how He has come into my darkness where I'd actually never searched for Him. I've actually never asked Him to. And He came into my darkness and He rescued me. And that's my testimony. God rescued me from darkness. And I shouldn't be here, but I have nothing to boast in but Jesus Christ.